In 2020, American consumers lost $56 billion to identity theft scams. On one hand, it does make for good entertainment. Movies, Netflix series, watching people scam scammers on YouTube.
I'm not gonna leave the computer. I turn it off every night so the dang robots can't infect it with their mind control powers.
Laughing at Wall Street finance bros that funded a phony company. It's all fun and games until you're the one that falls for the scam.
I got scammed.
I fell for a phone scam.
The thing is, the tactics that scammers are using now really are not that different from those car warranty calls that you would get. How have the same fraudulent schemes been running for years, and why do they still work? Con artists have moved past trying to scam your grandma and are moving on to young people. Even though they've moved on to using apps like Instagram, TikTok, even college job boards and Tinder, they're still using the same basic 5-step process to scam people out of billions. Step 1, impersonation. Back in the day, this was usually in the form of a phone call, and they were pretty easy to spot if you knew what they looked like. You would get calls of people pretending to be the IRS.
Who would actually be coming to arrest me? Is it IRS, or how do you do that?
You might have heard about the grandma scam, where they would call up older people and pretend to be a grandchild that was in jail that needed to be bailed out. And of course, there was the classic car warranty scam, which has become a meme, where people would call pretending to be your car insurance or warranty company.
Should have received something in the mail about your car's extended warranty,
telling you that you needed to extend the warranty on your car. Now, on the extreme end of impersonation, you have people like Anna Sorokin or Simon Hyatt, who have both had Netflix series made on them where they created an entirely new persona and went by a different last name in order to create an image that they were able to scam people with. If you've seen Inventing Anna, you know that Anna Sorokin moved to New York City, went by the name Anna Delvey, and pretended to be a German heiress. She worked her way into elite social groups in New York City. Through her whole course of pretending to be this German heiress, she racked up debt at hotels, she deceived major banks out of money, and she scammed her circle of friends for a total of somewhere between about $200,000 to $300,000. If you have seen the Tinder Swindler, there was a man named Simon Hyatt who went by Simon Lviv, and in order for his scams to work on Tinder, he pretended to be the son of a diamond billionaire named Lev Lviv. He photoshopped himself into Instagram pictures with the Lvivs, and he took other measures to make sure that when girls Googled him, it would all line up and he would look like he was actually the billionaire's son. You may think that these are silly, over the top, and easy to spot, but recently there have been more girls posting their stories online of how they were roped into crypto schemes through dating apps.
I fell for a scam, and I hope this prevents any of you from falling for it too.
But another place where these impersonation schemes pop up every day is on Instagram. Over the last couple of years, this has been a huge issue, especially for finance and business YouTubers, where fake accounts will pop up on Instagram almost every day, impersonating those influencers. These scammers try to emulate the original accounts as closely as they can, reposting the same photos, buying followers, and choosing a username that's just a few characters off. Again, it might seem easy to spot, but a lot of these accounts can be super convincing, and tons of people fall for these scams every day. Step 2 is gaining trust. After these scammers have convinced you that they are who they say they are, they're going to try to gain your trust so that you'll feel comfortable giving them your information. When we look at the old school scams of people pretending to be the IRS or a bank, sometimes they'll be able to verify some random piece of information about your account that they pulled from the dark web or somewhere online. It's also common for people to post on Craigslist or job boards and hire you for a test task to see if you are really worthy of the job, and they'll end up sending you a test amount of money that either eventually bounces from your account or that gets you involved in some money laundering scheme. With Anna Sorokin, she gained the trust of the New York social elite by paying for meals and dinners and really playing her part, wearing fancy clothes and jewelry and looking like she was in fact an heiress. Because of the way that she looked and the way that she acted, leaving big tips and looking the part of being wealthy, no one really had to question whether or not they should trust her. With Simon Hyatt, he would create the illusion of this relationship, sometimes over the course of months, where he would meet up with girls in person, maintain their online contact, and take them on fancy trips and vacations, all expenses paid. He would get them to the point where they believed that they were in a stable relationship, and he would buy them all of these expensive things and take them on these expensive trips so that he could earn their trust, so that they in turn felt like they needed to do something for him if he should ask. Now with the Instagram and TikTok scams, these scammers kind of skip over this step because they are impersonating an influencer that you already follow and trust. They don't have to do much extra work here. They'll usually DM random accounts with some seemingly friendly message, or they'll ask you how you're doing, how your portfolio is doing, and they'll let you know that they have some great opportunity for you. And it's like, in this economy, I don't think so. So that's your first red flag. So that is a nice little stepping stone into step 3, stealing your money and personal information. So of course, those old school phone and email scams would try to ask you for your social security number, your credit card numbers, bank account numbers, or other personal info. So you may think that people are too smart now and you're too smart to ever fall for these old school phone and email scams, and I just want to say, no, you're not. I was legitimately at a water park last week. There was a woman with her husband. They were having like a full out brawl because she was on the phone with a scammer. He was like, "You're being scammed." And she was like, "No, I'm not. They're stealing our credit card." And her phone legitimately said spam risk on it. So people do unfortunately still fall for this stuff all the time. But more in the vein of those email scams, I want you to think about some of the most recent social media memes that you've seen going around on Instagram or Facebook, if you still use that. Maybe you've even answered some of them, but they usually look something like this. When you answer these, you are giving personal information about yourself, and usually this information is used on password recovery on sites like your bank or even your investment accounts. When we think about phishing scams, our thinking is out of date. We do usually think about those Nigerian prince and you want a free laptop emails, or those IRS phone calls threatening to arrest you. But the truth is that hackers are constantly improving and reinventing their scams in ways that are harder to spot until it's too late, like prying for information through Tinder instead of your aunt's Facebook repost. And that's why I'm excited to partner with Aura, who's sponsoring this video. So Aura is an identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software, all combined into one easy to use app. Aura monitors the dark web for your emails, passwords, social security number, and they send alerts fast right to your phone or email. When it comes to fraud, every second matters. Connect your credit and bank accounts and get notified of any changes up to 4 times faster than Aura's competitors. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. And their antivirus software will block malware and viruses before they infect your devices. I had my roommates and I sign up, and Aura found our information on the dark web 5 times. When you sign up for a free trial, feel free to leave a comment with how many times your information was found, because I don't think that people realize how common it is for passwords and personal information to actually get leaked. So don't put yourself at risk. Try Aura free for 2 weeks and see if your personal identifiable information has leaked onto the dark web. You can start your free trial at aura.com/Arvabelle. As far as our Netflix stars getting money and information out of people, they both did this in very similar ways. With Anna, she scammed her friends, taking one on an expensive vacation, telling her that it would be all expenses paid, but making her friend put it on her credit card when Anna's credit card did not go through at the hotel. The total amount was more than that friend's salary for an entire year. She was also able to get a couple of loans from banks for a fake project building an art institution that never would exist. She forged bank documents and income statements to make it look like she had millions of dollars in her accounts. With Simon, he would convince women of various reasons why they needed to open up credit card accounts or take out personal loans and let him use them. With Instagram, TikTok, and dating app crypto scams, they'll usually ask you to send them a small amount of money that they'll invest and manage for you, and they'll increase that amount asking you for more and more money until you stop sending it. You will never see that money in return, so never send money to random people that reach out to you online. Not everyone is going to be as willing to give this information so freely, so step 4 is creating panic. So if you don't comply with these scammers' step 3 of just giving them your information, they'll usually invent a panicked situation to try to get you to cave under pressure. So with the old school scams, like that woman that I saw at the water park, it could be telling you that someone is trying to steal your credit card info and they need to verify your information now. It could be telling you that they'll send the police to arrest you if you don't immediately wire the money that you owe the IRS. Or it could be telling you that your utilities, internet, and everything in your home will be shut off if you don't immediately wire money to pay your outstanding utility bills. This step can take shape in many different ways, but I like to break it down into 3 tactics. I'm in trouble, you're in trouble, or you're missing an opportunity. So with Anna Sorokin, she created a you're in trouble situation. Let's use that same example of her taking the friend on the expensive vacation. They were in a foreign country. The hotel staff was probably pretty panicked and pretty aggressive when the payments weren't going through. So she created a you're in trouble situation by being like, hey, we're in a foreign country. We have to pay for this so that we're not in trouble with the hotel staff. You have to use your credit card or else we're going to be stuck here. Now with Simon, he took the I'm in trouble approach. After gaining the women's trust, he acted like he was being followed, there was someone after him, and the only way to keep him safe was for them to let him use a credit card or a loan that was in their name. With the Instagram scams, they use the opportunity approach, telling you that if you don't send them money, you'll miss out on some investment opportunity or an opportunity to join their Discord or something else along those lines. If you're getting roped into a crypto or investing scheme, a lot of times these scammers will try to tell you that you need to send them more money because you won't see the full results or get the full benefits or whatever the excuse is if you don't send them more. Step 5 is rinse and repeat. Unfortunately, there's not much that's actually stopping these scammers. When scammers or frauds get caught, they'll often just use a new email, a new phone number, or create a new Instagram account with a slightly different username. Anna Sorokin got a slap on the wrist, a couple of years in jail, and might get deported back to Germany. Simon Hyatt is back on Tinder and still has not had to pay anyone back for anything.
I'm not a fraud and I'm not a fake.
And unfortunately, platforms like Instagram and even YouTube aren't doing anything to prevent these scammers or fraudulent accounts from being created, so it becomes up to the creators themselves to simply warn their audiences. And it's up to you as viewers to know what some of these common scams look like and to take your own measures to prevent identity theft. Remember to use that link in the description to sign up for a 2-week free trial of Aura, and if you've ever been a victim or almost fallen for a scam, I encourage you to share that story in the comments so that other people can see. Don't respond to weirdos DMing you on Instagram, and I will see you guys next time.